Now, many of my Patreons and YouTube subscribers asked me if they should watch my tutorials in a specific order, and actually that's a good question. It is hard to find a learning path through the dense forest of tutorials on YouTube. Which one should you watch and in which order, right? Now, in the meantime, I have uploaded more than 70 tutorials myself of all kinds of subjects, mainly for medium to advanced guitarists. But there are thousands of tutorials on YouTube. Now, to find the right order to watch, and more important, to follow a certain roadmap for your development as a musician and a guitarist in particular, I have made this video to give you a roadmap for learning guitar and music in common. You could see this as a bird's eye view of a landscape of subjects, techniques, theory, harmony, rhythm, skills, arpeggios, chords, and so on. Clearly ordered in 8 levels of progression that can be followed linear and sometimes in a parallel way. Now, this results in a logical way of learning, where everything learned can be used to learn the next thing in a higher level, in a natural and intellectual flow. Now, I have divided the roadmap in 8 levels, from the very basics to the highest level thinkable. Each level has 9 disciplines. You have rhythm like strumming, time signatures, syncopation, special rhythms, etc. Chords like playing different types of chords, progression, cadences, extensions, inversions, etc. All kind of scales, technique and improvisation, picking technique, arpeggios, fingerstyle playing, reading music notation, and music theory. Now, in each level, each discipline can have multiple subjects, and the time it takes to complete a certain level depends on how much time you'll invest in practicing with the right technique and right approach. This is the most important aspect of learning. Also, the kind of guidance or help you have from, for instance, a professional teacher plays a significant role. Now, your personal talent for the instrument and music in general is important for the overall progression, of course. Keep in mind that some levels and disciplines can be learned faster than others, and you may choose to level up in a certain discipline sooner than the other discipline in the current level. Now, of course, this roadmap or learning plan is just my own vision based on my own experience as a teacher and as a student, because I had to learn all of this too. Well, it could well be that someone has a valuable addition or remark that could enhance this roadmap. Now, the first level is where you begin when you take your first steps in playing the guitar. You're all excited about your future as a guitarist, and you have no idea that it will take much time and dedication to learn the fine motor skills and understand the musical concepts. In this phase, you learn your first open chords with common fingering, simple up and down strumming in quarter and 8 notes counting. Now, you will learn your first pentatonic scale pattern and very basic short solos. Now, you're going to learn to pay much attention to your finger movement and your body posture and the posture of your hands while playing. That this is essential to become a good guitar player. Now, you'll be occupied with slow and easy alternate picking exercises. And you will also begin with basic fingerstyle playing using only the thumb, index and middle finger. It's important that you learn the names of the strings and the functions of the parts of the guitar. Now, in the time that's left, start carefully with sight reading, rhythm and notes. In the first position on the upper 3 strings in quarter and 8 notes in simple time signatures. It's apparent that you take lessons in this level and the levels to come. A professional teacher can help you to overcome the obstacles that you, with no doubt, will encounter. A professional teacher is trained in methodology and didactics, and he knows exactly what he should tell you, so you can make progress in the most efficient way. In level 2, you will elaborate on the simple strumming from level 1 and add syncopation and the dotted note. Now, you will learn the harder to play and change open chords and special open chords like the sus chords and added 9 chords, for instance. In addition, you learn the essential blues progression and the turnarounds in open chords. Also, learning power chords is a subject here and fun to do. Learning the second pentatonic scale pattern will increase your possibilities for easy soloing with new techniques like the hammer-on, the pull-off, the slide and even bending. Well, it starts to sound a lot better. Alternate picking exercises are now syncopated, and you'll learn the famous gallop rhythm and you'll add palm muting. For fingerstyle playing, you will learn how to play a bass note and a melody at the same time in simple bass melody exercises. In this level, you have to learn the names of the notes on string 5 and 6 up to the 8th fret. Now, you'll learn to tune the guitar and you'll learn something about note values, which are note lengths. In the meantime, you can spend some time to learn and read the notes on all strings in the first position up to the 3rd fret. and learn what sharps and flats are and how they are notated in music notation. Now for rhythm, you start with different 16th note rhythm figures in strumming and single note riffs without syncopation. And you develop techniques with the right hand and the left hand muting for funkier rhythm guitar, and you'll learn all about the afterbeat. A difficult discipline is learning bar chords, and that will take some time to get right. Now you're also going to play slash chords, which are chords with a different bass than the root. We'll take the power chords to a higher level with some muting techniques and syncopation. Now you will make your first steps with simple triad shapes and their inversions in pop style exercises. Also, you have to memorize and play all 5 pentatonic scale patterns and learn about the blue note and blues scale. Regarding technique, it's now important to learn vibrato techniques, natural harmonics and more advanced legato technique combining the hammer-on, the pull-off and the slide. Your muting techniques will be more complicated, and you start with gaining speed by doing progressive exercises with unsyncopated 16th note rhythm figures. Now in this level it's good to start with simple triad arpeggios over 5 and 6 strings as a preparation for the things to come in the next levels. And your fingerstyle playing levels up too, with a famous Travis picking, playing chords with fingers and using hammer-ons and pull-offs in picking patterns. Now for learning music theory, this level takes the next step from the pentatonic scales to the diatonic scales, and you learn about the major scale and its intervals. You have to learn all note names in the first position and on all strings, and you elaborate on your knowledge of triads by learning the 4 types of triads: major, minor, diminished and augmented. In the meantime, you practice reading notes and rhythm in the second position and learn to read a simple bass line and melody at the same time. In level 4 you learn about the shuffle, triplets and sextuplets rhythm figures. Also the 6/8 time signature, the hemiola and 16th note syncopated rhythm is something you learn in this level. Now we're going to see the convenient shell voicing shapes for 7 chords and use them in jazz standards and modern music. In addition to the shell voicings, you get acquainted with the diminished, added 9 and sus2 bar chords. You learn to play a diatonic major and minor scale pattern. The pentatonic scale will be used over the whole neck by shifting position with different patterns, and you will combine the pentatonic scale with the diatonic scale for a more versatile sound. Now this level teaches you basic right hand tap technique, string skipping, soloing with the diatonic scale and the first steps in improvising over a 2-5-1 progression in the major key. Now you start to study for more speed and become more aware of inside and outside picking movement in, for instance, triplet rhythm figures. Now the 16th note rhythm is now syncopated. For the arpeggios you learn spread triads and the major 7 and minor 7 arpeggio. Now you will level up your fingerstyle playing by starting some beginner to intermediate classical music and exercises and learn to play rests with your fingers. The music theory will expand to harmonizing the diatonic scale and minor scale, the circle of fifths, building a 7th chord and learn the notes on the neck of the guitar up to the 7th fret. In the time left you can learn reading notes and more complex rhythm figures in the first 5 positions. Also sight reading, larger intervals and more difficult 2-part music is a part of this level. At this time you have learned a lot and you will be more than an average musician. Now you can do some self-study and go in depth with the things from the first 4 levels. Now you're in for some odd time signatures, other compound rhythms and combining different rhythm figures for more complex rhythm playing. Now the chords will extend from 7 chords to 9, 11 and 13 chords. And you'll play songs in full shapes instead of shell voicings. After learning all diatonic scales by heart, you will be acquainted with the structure of the harmonic minor scale. Color notes will be an important aspect while soloing, for instance over the 2-5-1, and you learn tapping licks over multiple strings. Now you learn to improvise over the 2-5-1 in minor instead of major. Now your technique will progress by learning pinched and artificial harmonics, and you start with economy picking for a more versatile picking technique and as a preparation for shui picking. Now in addition to the already learned major 7 and minor 7 arpeggios, you will learn the dominant 7, half diminished and full diminished arpeggios and some patterns that repeat themselves in the octave. Your fingerstyle technique gets serious with hybrid picking and you start with more advanced classical and modern guitar pieces. And you will learn the tremolo and rasguado technique. Now you will learn all about the caged system, relative and parallel scales, chord functions, the important tritone interval and the secondary dominant. Reading notes is now expanded to the 7th position and you will practice to read multi-voice music. Learning polyrhythms is a specialized discipline that helps you to gain a better inner pulse and creating some complex progressive rock riffs, for instance. In addition to the triad inversions, you will learn the 7-chord inversions and the drop 2 voicings that are used in jazz. You also learn the progression of the jazz blues and some other popular progressions and cadences. Also, a few modulation techniques is something that you learn in this phase. Very important to learn are the modes of the major scale. And also the dominant pentatonic scale and the bebop scale and the related super blues scale is what you learn in this level. To improvise better, you learn to improvise with modes of the major scale and superimpose pentatonic scales as well as superimpose arpeggios. Now you'll learn how to use the modes over the 2-5-1 progression and over the jazz blues progression. At last, there it is, sweep picking technique. One of the most demanding techniques for guitar is kept for this level. For the arpeggios, you progress to the minor major 7, augmented dominant and added 9 arpeggios, and also wider interval arpeggios and string skipping scale arpeggios. Your fingerstyle will level up and reaches its last stage with percussive rhythm guitar, slap technique and higher level classical and modern guitar pieces. Now the music theory in this level is about chord substitutions, the tritone substitution, superimposing scales and arpeggios, modes of the major scale in depth, and the Dorian brightness cushion that indicates the brightness and darkness of a mode, and finally the chromatic medians. Now we have finished the rhythm discipline in level 7. In the chords and harmony department you'll focus on the jazz standards by playing chords with bass lines. And you'll learn about extended chords that do not comply to the traditional chord building structure. Now you'll learn scales like the whole tone scale, the diminished scale and the melodic minor scale. Adapting pentatonic scales to sound modal and improvise over some types of 7 chords is also important in this part of this level. And you will focus on 2-hand tapping and apply the modes of the harmonic minor scale over specific chords. The sweep picking technique is expanded with tapping, and also the arpeggios are expanded in the same way. Now you will learn how to play scales in an arpeggio format. The fingerstyle and music reading disciplines have been finished in the previous level, but the theoretical knowledge goes forth with modal interchange, where you borrow chords from other modes, and you learn about the interesting modes of the harmonic minor scale, like the Phrygian dominant scale and the Dorian sharp 4 scale. Now you are now studying quartal and quintal chord structures that are quite different from the harmony we all know as tertian harmony. Now you will be learning to play scales in chords rather than in single notes, which demands a perfect knowledge of the chord types and the neck of the guitar. Also, some new and remarkable scales are ready to be mastered, like the harmonic major, the double harmonic major, and some exotic pentatonic and ethnic pentatonic scales. Now you'll learn to improvise over all 8 types of 7 chords, including the diminished 7, the minor major 7 and the augmented 7 chords, and learn some outside soloing techniques that are used in jazz and fusion. In this level you learn about the modes of the melodic minor scale and how to use them in your music. To practice arpeggios more in depth and in a musical way, you'll learn to play the harmonized scales in arpeggios. Now you get acquainted with the theory of the modes of the melodic minor scale, harmonic major and double harmonic major scale. And you'll learn all about the theory of the quartal and quintal harmony. And you'll learn the theoretical concept of negative harmony to approach a tonal center in different ways. So now that you know what paths you could follow to learn playing the guitar, it's also important to know which tutorials to use for which level and discipline. Now therefore I've made a PDF of this whole roadmap and I've put some links to videos that I think are worthwhile watching. Now some of those videos are my own and some of those are from other creators on YouTube. Now there are a lot of self-acclaimed teachers on YouTube and some of them are really good and some of them are really bad and there's a lot in between. I think a teacher is competent when he or she has obvious thorough knowledge of the subject and when the teacher can explain it in a clear and structural manner and when he or she gives a musical example of the subject and when he encourages or triggers a student to explore the subject even more and when a teacher shows music notation in addition to the tablature when it's needed. Now I hope this video and the PDF which is available for download in the description of this video will help you to find a way to learn playing the guitar and music in general in a structural way. Playing the guitar and master all the disciplines is a great task and you don't need to reach level 8 of course to be a good guitarist, it's up to you how far you will push yourself in this. In the end, playing the guitar should be fun to do on any level and you don't need to strive to reach level 8. In the meantime, I will go on with making videos that will help you to understand music better and apply it to real-life music. Because music theory serves playing and not the other way around. Now, do you like what you see? Please like the video and leave a comment or consider to be a member of the Q Jam Tracks Patreon community and receive additional tablature examples, lessons, news and backing tracks. Do you have any questions? Please put them in the description or contact me through my Patreon page. I see you again next time. Bye!